The fabric of now ripped open. Slim's personal time travel experiments changed everything. He spent years preparing. A colossal sum of money fueled his obsession, perhaps $300 million initially. His project, Kronos Initiative, started in 2008. It was a secret endeavor. Only 5 scientists truly understood his vision. He aimed to manipulate time, not just observe it. His first true experiment happened in 2013. A minor temporal distortion. He measured it at 3.2 nanoseconds. It felt like a flicker, a ghost of a moment. He recorded its precise coordinates, alpha 7290.003. Its duration was minuscule, perhaps 0.001% of a second. This early success gave him hope. Then the stakes grew higher. He poured in more funds, nearly $700 million more by 2017. The equipment was massive: a particle accelerator, a quantum entanglement chamber, a chronosynclastic infundibulum was its core. He sought to jump back to 1997 to witness a specific financial market shift. His team worked around the clock. They faced countless setbacks. 2 major power grid failures occurred. One scientist nearly suffered a temporal disassociation. It was highly dangerous work. Her 12-month timeline stretched to 24 months, then 36 months. The energy bills alone exceeded $100 million. The entire complex in Nevada spanned over 300 acres. Its main reactor hummed with a constant power draw of 500 megawatts. Security was airtight, 3 layers of biometric scanners, 20 armed guards at all times, all paid for by Slim's own personal fortune. Slim himself endured much. He experienced severe temporal fatigue. His body felt out of sync. He aged rapidly after one large jump, maybe 5 physical years for one subjective hour. His hair started to recede quickly. His skin grew thin. He was determined, however. By 2023, they had a working prototype. It could project his consciousness, not his full physical body. A consciousness projection cost $80 million per attempt. He made 3 such projections. Each one was a risk. Each one was a gamble. The first test nearly ended him. His brainwaves flatlined for 20 seconds. The medical team panicked for a full minute. They almost lost him. His heart rate dropped to 10 beats per minute, but he awoke. He simply woke up, ready for the next trial. His resolve was frightening. He believed time held answers. His first successful projection reached 2001. He only stayed for 1 minute. He saw specific news headlines, stock market figures from that day. He gained critical insight. He brought back 0 physical evidence. Only memories of a past that he now knew was fixed. The second projection was to 2015. He hoped to communicate with a past version of himself. He failed. The temporal barrier was too strong. He saw himself walking away. His past self never noticed. A profound loneliness washed over him. He later described it as seeing a stranger, a past version of himself he could not reach. He felt a deep sense of separation, a temporal chasm. The barrier was impenetrable. He tried to scream. No sound came out. Only a silent temporal echo. The third projection was the most ambitious. He wanted to change one small thing, a 5-second window in 2005. To prevent a small personal tragedy, he spent $120 million on this one jump. The energy consumption was immense, a 4,000 terawatt surge. It nearly collapsed his entire facility. He succeeded in observing the moment, but he could not interact. He was merely a ghost, a temporal specter. The event unfolded exactly as before. He learned a hard truth: time resists change. He pounded his desk in frustration for 5 long minutes. The data showed absolute fidelity to the original timeline. Every single nanosecond, every single photon, nothing changed. He had spent more than $100 million to learn this lesson. A painful lesson, a permanent lesson. His experiments continued for 2 more years, up to 2025. He attempted 25 smaller temporal observations. Each one refined his understanding. Each one cost millions, perhaps 10 million per observation. He studied the effects on local causality. He found minimal impact. The universe protected itself. It self-corrected any minor ripple. He realized his power was limited. He could see but not touch. He could know but not alter. This knowledge was a burden, a heavy burden. His lab became his prison. The white walls mocked his efforts. The hum of the machinery was a constant reminder of his limitations, of his massive investment, of his failing health. He ate very little. He slept perhaps 3 hours a night, often less. He had spent over $1.5 billion, 15 years of his life. His health deteriorated significantly. He lost 60 pounds. His hair turned white. He became a recluse. His insights, however, were profound. He understood the flow of time, its unyielding nature, its inherent resistance to paradox. He recorded all his findings in a series of 7 journals, each journal filled with 500 pages. His team of 5 scientists slowly dwindled. 2 left due to ethical concerns, 1 suffered a nervous breakdown, only 2 remained. They were loyal but weary, Dr. Aris and Ms. Chen. They knew the risks, they saw his decline, yet they stayed. Their loyalty was unwavering. Perhaps they too sought answers, or perhaps the sheer scale of the project compelled them. A sense of awe, a sense of fear. Dr. Aris worked 75-hour weeks. Ms. Chen maintained the temporal integrity logs. These logs filled 200 gigabytes of data, encrypted and secured beyond all recognition. Slim learned that money buys time in a very specific way. It buys the ability to perceive time, not to control it. He developed a deep respect for chronological integrity. He recorded 137 temporal signatures, each one unique, each one a fingerprint of a specific moment. He cataloged 53 instances of parallel temporal echoes. These were faint reverberations of other potential timelines. He concluded that our reality is just one of an infinite number. Yet, it is the only one he could truly inhabit. His final experiment involved a thought, a purely mental projection, no machine involved. It was a desperate attempt to communicate across the temporal divide, to send a warning to himself one day in the future. He believed it might work. He had no way to confirm it. This was his legacy, a legacy of observation and unchangeable truths, a billion-dollar journey into the unalterable past. And a silent message to the unknown future. He had bought knowledge at an unimaginable price, a price paid in money, health, and sanity, a truly astounding price. He continued his work alone, in silence. Only the hum of the machines remained. Always the hum.